today by having a look at the shapes on this sheet. Okay, I'm asking you to find the area of each. Just give yourselves a moment to have a think about what you would actually say the area was. Pause this recording so that you can have a go. Okay, so some of them you'll find easy. The area of this rectangle, as long as we remember that the area is length times width, the area of this rectangle would be 12. We haven't got any units, but if it was in centimetres, it would be 12 centimetres squared. When we're looking at something like this, then we have got 7 times 3t. We can multiply the 7 and the 3 together. We have 7 lots of 3t, we would have 21t altogether. Triangle, did we remember that it's base times height and then halve it? So it would be 12 times d and then halved, divided by 2. But we can do 12 divided by 2. We've got half of 12, we'd have 6. When we come on to ones like this, we have got f times k. Now we know when we multiply a letter by a number, we put the number first. When we've got two letters together that we're multiplying, we still miss out the times sign. So we would call this fk or kf, but we tend to put things in alphabetical order. So if we're doing this one, we have 2 times u times g. So we could write 2ug, that would be fine, but I would probably go for 2gu, just so that it's in alphabetical order. But the number must come first. So on this bottom one here, it's a triangle, so base times height and then halve it, b times the j and then halve it. This time I can't simplify it any more than that. Right, so just looking at those in a little bit more detail, sometimes I see quite a few sort of wrong answers for these kind of things. So let's just see what is allowed and what isn't. So if we looked at these expressions here, f times k would give me the area here. So would k times f. But in both of those, if we're writing things in algebra, we really do want to miss out the times sign. So that's why fk would be better. Sometimes people would have put f plus k for this. If you were adding these, we're adding lengths. So we'd be adding the length f to the length k. So what you would actually be working out is the distance going from here round to here. If we then doubled it, we'd actually get the perimeter. But for the area, we are multiplying your length and your width together. So on here, 2ug is the one that I showed you earlier on, and 2gu. These two things are the same. And both of those would be absolutely fine as the answer. It wouldn't be okay to do this. You need to make sure that the number goes first. And again, we're not adding when we are looking at the area here. Okay, so moving on, if you just have a moment to sort of think for yourself again, which of those do you think are the same and which of them do you think are different? Again, it might be a good idea to pause so you can have a proper think. Okay. We have got 4 times h times k. When we're multiplying, it is commutative, so the order doesn't matter. So k times 4 times h would be the same. K times h times 4 again is the same. 4 times h times k. Here again, we're multiplying all of them together. So they all actually mean the same thing. When it comes to thinking about how you would actually write it in algebra, this one is the best answer there. We've got the number first, we've got the multiplication times missed out, and we've even got in alphabetical order for the rest of the letters. So that would be what you would actually write. Okay, so just want to finish off with looking at when we have squares in our expressions as well. So if we had a rectangle which has got a length here of 1, so we know this one, but we don't know that one. By the look of the diagram, it looks like E is bigger than 1, but you know, with things are not to scale, but it doesn't really matter what the E is. Okay, just that it's not the same as 1. So let's assume it's bigger. Right, so the area of this would be E times 1. So that would actually be E. And remember, when they've only got one of them, we don't bother putting in the 1 at the front. We just leave it as E. Okay, so the area of this shape here is E times E. Now we could write that as EE, but we don't. We would write that as E times E. When we times something by itself, we're squaring it. So we just write it as E squared. So that's E times E. So you can see the area of this shape and the area of this shape are not the same. So when we've got something like an expression like E squared plus 3E, sometimes people think you can add these two things together to get 4E squared, or a number of different things. You cannot add these together. If you put it as a shape, I can put the shape together. The area of this shape here is E squared plus 3E. We've got an E squared and we've got 3 of our E's, so 3 of those. But if I had 4E squared, I've got 4 of those. So I have 4 of those. Okay, so you can see that these two shapes are not the same thing. We cannot add an E squared to an E. They're counted as different letter types. So this expression is as simple as it can possibly be. You cannot simplify that further. Okay. So when you're looking at more complicated expressions and you're being asked to simplify, you need to think about whether or not the letter part actually means the same thing. Okay, so if I look at this one, I've got a PQ here and a PQ there. The letter parts are the same. So we've got 1 PQ there and 2 PQs there. So we've got 3 of the PQs. If I look at this expression, you can see I've got x's and I've got x squareds. Well, just like the E example that I showed you a minute ago, an x and an x squared are different types of things. So I can add together my x's, I can add together my x squareds. So let's collect the x's first. 5x minus 2x is 3x. X squared plus 3x squared is 4x squared. That is as simple as it can be. You can't simplify that further. So on this one, we have got E's, we've got normal numbers, and we've got E squareds. So I think I'll start with the E squareds this time. So I've only got that one E squared. With these, I've got 3E minus an E, which will give me 2E. And I've got a 7 and a 22, which adds together to give me 29. Okay, so on our next example here, we have got 2t, take away another t. Well, 2 take away 1 gives me nothing. I've got no t's left to talk about, so I'm not going to bother putting them in. We've got 5y plus 6y is going to give 11y. Okay, and that's it. This one here will give 1u squared plus 2u squared is 3u squared. Here we have got 6ab plus 2ab, which will give me 8ab. I've got 2a minus an a will give me 1a, and I've got a minus b. Okay, this one here we've got 2y, take away y is 1y, plus 11y will be 12y. 8 add 2 is 10. And so our last example, just pause it a moment, have a go yourself. Okay. We've got GH plus 5GH is 6GH. We've got 2H minus an H would be 1H plus the 2G.